Hey guys, how's it going? It's the Crypto Analyst here, and I hope all of you guys are having a good morning, evening, wherever you guys are from. Welcome back to another Bitcoin technical analysis, and Bitcoin could be painting a giant bear flag that has been in play throughout the entire consolidation period since the initial breakout from $4,200. Now, today we're going to be talking about what this means and what kind of an impact that this can actually have on the price action of Bitcoin and all of the cryptocurrencies alike. So if you guys are interested, go and stick around for the video, and do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. But that being said, let's go ahead and break this down and really explain what kind of implications this can have on the cryptocurrency market. So from this original breakout at around 4,200 from this giant ascending triangle, Bitcoin had an amazing breakout all the way up to, pushing $5,500. Now, with this actually happening, this created a very nice bull pull. However, what seems to be getting painted after this bull pull is a bear flag. Now, this is not what we want to see. And in fact, what this can actually mean is that this will eventually lead to a breakdown in the price of cryptocurrency, especially in Bitcoin, if it is to play out. And so the way that this plays out is it works as a rising channel of sorts. You can see the two red lines at the bottom and the top working as support and resistance, and then the green line working as a heart line. Now, what's happened over here is we actually have a secondary resistance inside of this rising channel or of this bear flag that we can see that's highlighted as the blue. Now, if you look at this one has been tested a lot, and this is on the 4-hour chart. So if we want to go ahead and zoom in, you can see that this one's been tested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now pushing 6 times. And that from this initial breakout that we're getting right now, you're actually seeing rejection from this area of around $2,245. So the fact that it's still using this resistance line is a little bit harsh, but you can almost say that this is possibly even a rising wedge. Now, while this isn't confirmed, if you do connect the bottom two resistance lines over here, you do end up getting a very, very nice rising wedge on Bitcoin for the time being. So if you do get a third touch in this rising wedge, I would definitely be very, very hesitant about longing this anymore, because possibly this would get us close to the heart line if it was to keep going. And if it saw rejection that high up, I would be very hesitant to be longing this anymore, because of the fact that this is a rising wedge inside of a bear flag, which would make me believe that it's even going to further break down, besides just it being in a rising channel. However, with this still being in a rising channel, this can still go much higher. And if we go ahead and look at this, we can actually do a little bit of a draw out and say, well, if this was to keep going up and just kind of inching its way up over here, it could really go all the way up to and break the $5,700 level, probably reaching around $5,700 before seeing ultimate rejection. Now, I do believe if it did get up here, I do think that it's actually going to get pretty hard rejected and come back down and fall out of this guy, because I do not think we're breaking through $6,000 this time around. However, if this was actually able to get back up here and reach the resistance line one more time, it would be an absolute crazy short, or at least crazy shorting potential, because if this is at its third touch of resistance inside of a giant bear flag, and this thing were to fall out, my targets would be towards the downside, probably close to $4,200. And if it fell out from from $5,700 all the way to maybe close to $4,200, the gains on that would be absolutely substantial. So you can bet that if this guy does get back up towards resistance, I will definitely be shorting this guy, taking into fact, hopefully there's divergence and everything else. But, I would say that there's a 90% chance that if we actually do get back up into this area close towards the resistance of this giant bear flag, there's a very good chance that I end up shorting this. Now, looking at this a little bit further, we do have this one resistance in here that we have to take care of before we even move up past the heart line. And this is the guy that we've been touching a lot, but with us touching this line so much, it almost makes me think that it's going to break. But we do know that it's a very well established resistance line, as we've touched it at least like 6 or 7 times in the past week or so. And so with this happening, I do think that this line needs to break if we do want to push up any higher. But for the time being, this is really what we got and really what we have to work with. And so for my chart right now, these are really just the two lines that I'm worrying about, because these are the only two ones that are in really direct correlation with me right now. And it still does look like this 50 EMA is getting used as a support area. You know that the price is just hovering and has been hovering around. Yes, there has been some candles towards the downside. There have been some wicks towards the downside. But for the most part, the price action and Bitcoin, if we kind of just zoom out over here, you can see that it's just been floating around the 50 EMA over here, bouncing off the bottom of this channel pretty well. And so now I would expect that if this is going to get respected, you would have 3 touches on the upside, and then an ultimate breakout in the price action of Bitcoin and probably the whole cryptocurrency and altcoin market, following it towards the downside in US dollar evaluation, or really just in any kind of fiat evaluation. But looking at this on the MACD and the RSI, I do want to highlight a couple of things over here. So looking at this on the 4-hour MACD and the 4-hour RSI, first of all, we can see that there was a little bit of fake bearish divergence over here, but you do see that this bullish divergence over here was actually playing out, and now we're having this beautiful rise towards the upside. The only thing that's really getting me a little bit nervous is that this previous MACD candle needs to be broken. You need to form a higher high on your MACD chart, and then I think this thing will be good to go. But we saw that it was being suppressed down for so long, and this is something I was telling the Patreons, is that this was in such an awkward place, because with the way that the MACD was working and being suppressed all the way down over here, is that it was just an awkward and something that made me really not want to trade this zone and not have any trades in for a long time. And so originally, actually, I was going to short this initial zone over here of around $5,160. However, after seeing how weirdly that this was all playing out, ended up exiting it. Yes, it did fall down, but now it's back up even higher than it was before, as it has breached $5,200. Looking at this on the RSI, the main thing that I'm watching out for over here is a lower swing high. If Bitcoin has a lower swing high on its 4-hour MACD or on its 4-hour RSI, I think that it could present a very, very bearish case for Bitcoin. But for the time being, it does, there's really no signs signifying that this RSI is slowing down in any way. Still pointed absolutely straight upwards, and we're going to have to see where this rounds at before we get any kind of real divergence on Bitcoin. So moving this to the 1-day chart, I want to look at these divergences as well. You can see that your 1-day chart, your MACD has actually rounded all the way back down into the negative zone, or really into the bearish territory. However, it does look like it's actually kind of weak for the time being. And on your RSI, this is another thing that I'm really looking at, a key lower swing high on a daily chart, and if this is going to happen, I would be pretty bearish because of just how oversold this guy is, pushing all the way up to an 88 or an 89 on your RSI. So if this thing does do something like this and actually swing back up here and then form a lower swing high and come back down, obviously this would be my prime shorting opportunity, because I think it would really just create double bearish divergence on the 1-day RSI, and it would probably do the same thing and paint it on the 4-hour RSI as well. So the way that I'm playing this out is that I'm actually just kind of sitting back now. I'll see which path that this kind of wants to take, because if this guy wants to keep pushing, and if this actually wants to break this falling wedge that it's in, and again, it's not a confirmed falling wedge yet, just because it only has 2 touch points on support. Yes, the resistance is confirmed, but the support really isn't yet. So maybe we get a 3rd touch point on support before it breaks down. I'll really just be waiting to see that, but I don't like trading unconfirmed technical analysis formations. And so maybe this does, if this actually does break towards the upside out of this, I think it would be a very bullish case scenario, because what that would mean is that it's contradicting a potential bearish pattern, coming back up here, and then that would lead me to believe and really be actually layering shorts toward the top of this with tight stop losses, again, above resistance, so that if this does just want to keep going up to 6,000, then, I can enter in a better position and get stopped out pretty fast. So the overall way that I really am playing this is I'm just kind of playing a waiting game here. Yes, there is a little bit of divergence here. You can see the volume starting to pick back up, but I think for the most part, I think that this is going to, hopefully pump some more, create a better shorting opportunity, and then really put us in a nice position to kind of ride this one out. Because if you're at 10x leverage, about every $400 to $500 you get about 100%, and if this thing falls well over 1,000, that's about 300%. And I think that would be a very, very satisfying trade for me, or really anyone, to take part of. So we'll have to see over here. Again, nothing I said is legal, tax, or financial advice in any way. It's simply just my own opinion, and this is educational purposes. But really, that is my thoughts on the cryptocurrency market right now, because I think that there is a lot of hidden potential in here coming up soon. Even though, maybe it does get rejected here, maybe it does just fall out of this rising wedge, if so, maybe it's a missed opportunity. But for the time being, I think that this is going to be one of the ones that I'm just gonna kind of wait out and see how this plays out. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys did, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help out the channel a lot. I want to know your guys' thoughts. Is this bearish or is this bullish? Can we push back up to that $6,000 range, or are we going to fall out before then? So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video.